Ladies and gentlemen, James Comey wants your apology. He wants an apology from you and from the United States of America and from people who doubted him because he didn't leak classified intelligence, even though he mishandled classified intelligence or classified memos. And he not only did that, his actions were completely overboard. Like, there's not a rule that he didn't break. There's not a code that he didn't try to bend and twist and circumvent. And he's now demanding an apology from all the people who... You have to just enjoy it. Look, all I'm saying is enjoy it, because the roof's going to cave in when Andrew McCabe is going to get indicted. He will get indicted, and we know this. This isn't just, trying to look at, trying to find some sense into all of this. Matthew Whitaker cites a subtle detail suggests Andrew McCabe is imminently going to be charged. Whitaker said that this looks like what is known as a DAG appeal. So, a DAG appeal, and Whitaker said sophisticated defense lawyers engage in this kind of conduct or meet with attorney generals to, quote, lay out your case as to why your client shouldn't be charged. Deputy Attorney General appeal. The Deputy Attorney General, Jeffrey Rosen. So, this is in the Daily Caller, this is in Law and Crime, there's a whole bunch of... Whitaker, DOJ meeting suggests Andrew McCabe will be indicted imminently. The indictments are imminent. So, it really doesn't matter. Don't get caught up in... Look, I get it. I get it. Nobody wants justice more than I do. Nobody wants everything declassified, so we find out exactly why they used a dossier purchased by Clinton to go ahead and set up and frame President Trump. Nobody wants to know that more than I do. And you. Nobody wants to know that more than we do. But you have the first major indictment. And this is Andrew McCabe, and he will get indicted. He was meeting with Justice Department officials for a reason. Now let's go back to James Comey, and to all those who've spent 2 years talking about me going to jail or being a liar and a leaker, ask yourselves why you still trust people who gave you bad info for so long, including the president. Look, nobody is buying this. Even people defending Comey they say, well, what about Barr and Trump? Barr never did anything wrong. There was no obstruction of justice. Trump never worked with Russia. It's just like when they say he said both sides were morally equivalent, or that they had fine people. He never mentioned the Tiki Torch people being fine people. He went out of his way to say they weren't. Democrats cannot live in reality. The reality is actually the antithesis of what they say is reality. Trump never worked with Russia. The Russians almost certainly never hacked the DNC to inform the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated. And furthermore, we have no proof or evidence. The United States government was relying on CrowdStrike. But see, the thing is, he kept classified memos in a safe. That is illegal. There are things that he did that he's hiding. Look, the memos that were classified, he apparently gave memos that weren't classified. Okay, the memos that were not classified almost certainly were just complete fiction. That's why he's getting away with it. Because his thing is, look, it's like a diary. It's his diary. He viewed it to be a diary. Why would you believe anyone's diary? Why would you use anyone's diary to start an investigation? So he's hiding behind that, and he's saying, haha, you can't touch me. All I did was start a special counsel using information that you can't classify because I made it all up. So when he says Trump demanded loyalty, President Obama, Bush, what company, if you work for a company, they demand a certain type of loyalty. You can't give trade secrets to rival companies. It's just, Trump never worked with Russia. They had to save face because they lost miserably. I said Clinton would lose in 2015. She lost. I'm telling you, she's running again. And she's just waiting. You think they're going to go with Biden or anyone else? They're not going to go with Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren can't raise any money. There is zero support for Warren nationwide. In terms of fundraising, you can add up Warren and Biden, and you wouldn't even get close to what Clinton raised at this point in 2015. So why am I bringing this up? She's going to enter the race after the third, either a month or 2 months after the third debate. But, and by the way, they cheated Tulsi Gabbard. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. Also, check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. I have a great segment on a really wonderful journalist, Tim Pool. Somebody came to his house at 4:30 in the morning trying to almost certainly do something horrendous, God forbid. So, watch that segment on H.A. Goodman's other channel. I urge him to just take advantage of the Second Amendment in a safe and responsible manner. But let's just, look, James Comey and all those who've spent 2 years talking about me going to jail or being a liar and leaker, ask yourself, so this guy is not, it's not even working even for his side. They all know what he did was against the law. What he did with the memos, it was against the law in how he utilized them, how he stored them, because he stored classified information also. But he leaked information for a specific purpose. He violated and broke numerous numerous guidelines within the FBI. The issue here is he still falls under the statute that I write about in the Federalist, that is in the pinned comment and in the description section. Again, ladies and gentlemen, he still falls under the statute that I write about in the Federalist. If you go below in the pinned comment and you try to look for this article, just go to my author page, Federalist author page. It's below in the pinned comment. And you can see an article titled, Andrew McCabe and James Comey should be charged. And then if you read it, it'll explain. Comey and McCabe should be charged with, and then I go and I explain the Comey, Strzok, and McCabe almost certainly conspired to use a compilation of salacious and unverified allegations as evidence to begin a federal probe. That falls under a statute, the 18 statute, Code 371. That's what they tried to use against Trump. There's no collusion statute. Well, this is the statute they tried to use against Trump, and it applies to people like Comey. He is setting, look, he doesn't think there's political will to use this statute. That's why he's demanding an apology. But there will be political will when we find out that McCabe is indicted. McCabe is going to get indicted. Even look, not just Matthew Whitaker. Matthew Whitaker and even Comey's friend at Lawfare and others are saying, yeah, it's happening. John Yoo. McCabe's attorneys met with Jeffrey Rosen, the Deputy Attorney General, okay? Not the horrendous, vile, and, just pathetic Jeff Sessions and Rod Rosenstein, who also went after Comey also, which is hilarious. Then you get the rebuttals from people like, former CIA official, da-da-da. And it's like, well, what about Barr and Trump? Did they follow regulations? Yeah, what did Trump do? Tweet? Big deal. Oh, that was obstruction. No, it wasn't. He fired Comey. Now we're finding out why he fired Comey. He fired Comey because Comey was insubordinate numerous times prior to this new IG report, which was after he was let go. Comey should have been fired under President Obama's administration. So, I explained, Loretta Lynch is saying that Comey is lying. She never told Comey to call the investigation a matter. Look, they covered up Clinton's crimes. They utilized a dossier purchased by Clinton. And then you get people on the left who are like, oh, the Clinton dossier thing? Oh, yeah, right. A grand jury, a judge approved it. It's like, no, the judge or the grand jury were not given the exculpatory information. They love the official process whenever it suits them. When there's a special counsel that finds nothing, oh my God, there had to be something wrong. There is absolutely no rhyme or reason. So don't be disheartened because when McCabe gets indicted, and that could happen tomorrow, that could happen next week, when McCabe gets indicted, you're going to, oh my God, here we go. Is the IG really saying if you're a law enforcement officer who is a witness to potential criminal activity, you have to shut up? No, he was a witness. If he was a witness to potential criminal activity, you don't go ahead and talk about the you don't go ahead and expose the criminal activity after you're fired. Sorry, can't use that. He should have gone then and there. Are you kidding me? That's hilarious. So he writes a diary and leaks it to the media because why didn't he leak that information right then and there? Because there wasn't anything illegal. There wasn't a potential criminal act. What was the criminal act? Saying you want loyalty, which almost certainly didn't happen the way that Comey talks about. Comey describes. These are diaries. That's why he got off, because it was a diary, he says. Where's his diary about interactions with President Obama? Where's the diary? Where's the memo about interactions with Loretta Lynch, who met with Bill Clinton to speak about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren? What I'm saying to you is, and so the IG report says, James Comey set a dangerous example in his handling of memos. Look. Do not get frustrated or flustered. I write about the overarching legal statute. It's the 18 U.S. Code 371. I write about that. It's below in the pinned comment. It's in every pinned comment. It's in every description. Okay? Yeah, if McCabe doesn't get indicted, which he will, but if McCabe doesn't get indicted, yeah, that's going to be not a good thing. Because then you'll get, then there definitely will be a two-tiered, there already is a two-tiered justice system, but then you're going to have a situation where it'll be very difficult. It'll be an existential issue with the country. You'll have a situation where it is an existential issue the country would face at that point. You cannot have disgruntled people who cheated Bernie Sanders and then blamed Russia for cheating them but giving them the popular vote, while at the same time accusing Trump of all of these crimes that just happened to be located in a dossier that was purchased by Clinton, with corrupt intelligence officials that just happened to all either leak information or lie under oath or do a bunch of different things. Clapper and Brennan lied under oath. They should have been charged with perjury. So, but you're not going to have McCabe's attorneys speak to the Justice Department for their health. This is a last-second Department of Deputy Attorney General appeal. And then, look, we'll go back. Comey says, DOJ IG found no evidence that Comey or his attorneys released any of classified information contained in the memos to the members of the media. Well, found no evidence? Fine. Okay. That doesn't mean that he didn't. We'll use the Democratic logic, but also he actually was leaking information. I don't need a public apology from those who defame me, but a quick message with a sorry, we lied about you would be nice. No, nobody lied about you. If anything, we don't know the extent. Nice. This is Molly Hemingway from The Federalist. James Comey, who was just found by the Inspector General to have violated President Trump's civil liberties and to have violated FBI standards in his campaign of leaking false collusion, Russia collusion narrative, and vengeance against Trump, is demanding apologies from his critics. Love it. Love it. So, that was fantastic. This is Molly Hemingway from The Federalist. Fantastic. But I urge everyone to read my Federalist article. This proves the intent and the motive for an overarching... The statute is about defrauding the United States government by utilizing agencies in a manner they're not meant to be utilized. They not just politicized, they utilized the FBI as an extension of the Democratic Party. Clinton is going to run, ladies and gentlemen, And it's going to be a repeat of 2016. It is going to be a repeat of 2016. Otherwise, it'll be a landslide victory from President Trump. I'm talking landslide victory. Okay, you have one candidate who was accused of lying about her heritage to get into academic institutions or to get jobs or in a cookbook or to be part of a cookbook. And when that, we haven't even spoken, it's like we've forgotten about that. Media's forgotten about that. But when Clinton has everything at her disposal, and it wouldn't even be Trump, it would be Clinton. Anyone who gets close to taking the mantle of the DNC, of the Democratic nominee, in 2 seconds, Clinton, the media, the Clinton staff who basically run the media or influence the media. The DNC emails talked about, the campaign emails talked about friendly journalists. One of those friendly journalists, allegedly friendly journalists, said, well, you know what, she's keeping the door open on 2020. She never said she was not going to ever run in the future. She never said that. Any time she ever said, Clinton ever said she wasn't going to run, it was, I'm not running at this moment. That's it. And then everyone ran with it. She's not running, she's not running, she's not running, she's not running, she's not running. It's all a farce. But that's why, look, Comey thinks he can get away with it because these are his diary entries. And they're a bunch of nonsense that he used, gossip, because the DNC emails, what they did to Democrats is they said, okay, if you just have something on a piece of paper, even though it was true and we wrote those horrible things and Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign, even if you write something on a piece of paper, people on our side will get revenge. They'll get vengeance or retribution. Because Trump benefited from our actual words, so we'll just write things to make up whatever we want about Trump, and people will run with it. Comey's memos were all just diary entries that sparked a special counsel. You had somebody making up an anonymous article written by a Democratic operative. I mean, it was basically written by a Democratic operative. The New York Times publishes it. Okay, you have a dossier about Trump. It's a stationary store of propaganda. You have a dossier about Trump. You have a ledger about Manafort. I mean, the whole thing is the DNC emails ruined and warped and destroyed the minds and the souls and the psyches and the spirits of Democrats because they were actually written by Debbie Wasserman Schultz and by everyone around her and everyone in Clinton's campaign. And we knew that there's 500 conflicts of interest with the Clinton Foundation. So don't worry about this. People say, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Don't worry about this. It'll happen. It'll take place, ladies and gentlemen. In the next couple of days, maybe tomorrow. Maybe Friday will be, Friday. McCabe indictment. Be like one of those monster truck commercials from the 80s. Once McCabe gets indicted, the whole rotten edifice is going to come crashing down. Okay? He's the number 2 with the FBI. They're going to use him to flip and sing on Comey and McCabe, Comey and Strzok and Clapper and Brennan and Baker. James Baker is the FBI top legal counsel. So, the McCabe, I don't care about today. I don't care about today. You shouldn't either. Because once the McCabe indictment hits, it's game, set, match. The number 2 and then the eventual director of the FBI, acting director of the FBI. Look, McCabe getting indicted at this point is far more important than James Comey getting indicted for leaking a diary entry that it was almost certainly he mishandled classified intelligence. He should have been indicted. I get it. I would have loved that to happen. But don't worry about that at this moment. He thinks he's sitting pretty because he has media and he has everyone around him and he thinks that he's untouchable. People who think they're untouchable always get touched. People who think that they're omnipotent always find out they're not omnipotent. These people are arrogant, and you don't get to where they're at without being arrogant and conniving and manipulative and thinking that you're going to outsmart everyone all the time. But that's not the case. That's not the case. Politically, he's in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. So anyway, give me your thoughts below. McCabe's indictments are imminent, ladies and gentlemen. Once that takes place, Comey could then offer to testify against McCabe. And then McCabe can be like, oh, you want to testify against me? No, I'm going to testify against you. Trust me on that. Okay. And then you get James Baker. Then you get Strzok. Because Andrew McCabe's got the goods on everybody. Comey might not have worked with Strzok that closely. McCabe did. So the big fish is not Comey right now. It's McCabe. Big time. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. I have a very important segment that, you know, I have a very important segment regarding what happened with Tim Pool. Somebody could have tried to end his life, God forbid. He's a great journalist. I love Tim Pool. I think that he's fantastic. I think he's wonderful. And somebody, you know, who knows who this person is, but somebody could have tried to end his life. And Tim Pool needs everyone's support. And I had just my 2 cents. I think he should take advantage of the Second Amendment. And I did a segment on that. But subscribe to Tim Pool. Give him your support. He's a great, he's a sobering, intelligent, honest, compassionate voice in this day and age, especially on YouTube. And he's everything the left needs. He's on the left, but he's everything the left needs. And it's definitely the majority of the left is not like that. But anyway, give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. And check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. Do not get upset, people. Do not get upset, okay? I'm trying to tell you. Give me your thoughts. Thank you so very much. Andrew McCabe's indictments are imminent. Don't worry about today. Thank you.